On today's Home Front, our digital and television column where we try to bridge the military-civilian divide, we want to look at a new plan to help women in the military get maternity uniforms for free. It is coined Rent the Camo, and it's included in the National Defense Authorization Act, the NDAA, which the House recently passed. I'm joined by two lawmakers who introduced this bipartisan bill, Democratic Congresswoman Deb Haaland of New Mexico and Republican Congressman Michael Waltz of Florida. They are both on the Armed Services Committee. And this is bipartisan, as I said. We don't see that all the time these days. But Congresswoman Haaland, just tell us a little bit about what need this program would meet for expectant moms in the military.
Absolutely. So first of all, I'll say that the House Armed Services Committee, we're all of us, a bipartisan effort to make sure that women have long and successful careers in the military. And this is just one way that we can help ensure that. Rent the Camo it's based off of a familiar organization, Rent the Runway, that helps military women to not have to have the expense of all kinds of uniforms to help them through all the terms of their pregnancy. And we just felt that that was a good way for us to help them have those long and successful careers.
And, you know, Congressman Waltz, I think part of this is that this sends a real message, as you heard the Congresswoman say there, to women, because you have a situation where you, in the military, and you know this, you're a decorated Green Beret, when you have women getting to the age where they're having kids, there's a huge amount of attrition in the armed services that many experts will argue is to the detriment of the armed services. How does this go to that?
Well, Bree, the number one duty of Congress, in our view, is to take care of our military. That's men and women. And this program, as Representative Haaland said, would essentially have our services, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, provide these uniforms in kind of a rent fashion rather than having the service women having to buy them as they go through the pregnancy. It saves them money. It saves the services money. This was really brought forward to me by an Air Force major I have on my staff. She's a mom of 5 kids. And to your point, it's a tremendous expense, but also when we see these experienced, she's an Air Force cyber warrior, we need her to stay in the military and to continue to serve. And, you know, as they're trying to have a family, deal with deployments, and they shouldn't have to deal with these additional expenses. So I'm really proud to work with Representative Haaland. Despite what you see on the news all the time, we can come together. We do come together, and particularly when it comes to supporting our military.
And Congresswoman, you have a personal connection to this, right? About your mom who was in the military but ended up giving that up because she was having children.
Absolutely, yes. She was in the Navy. My dad was in the Marines. She was in the Navy. They met on Treasure Island in San Francisco, got married, and when she got pregnant, she was forced out of the Navy. That was back in the 50s. We've come a long way, and now let's go one more step to make sure that we can support women in the military. I had folks coming to me talking about, women pilots who can fly until they're 28 weeks pregnant, having to cut their flight suits to add fabric to accommodate their pregnancies. We shouldn't be doing that. We absolutely have an obligation to support our military, to make sure they have everything they need to be successful, because their first duty is to protect our country.
Yeah, sends a very, very strong message. I wonder, Congressman, tell us how this has been received. I imagine pretty well.
Well, I can certainly tell you that the Air Force major on my staff is very happy about it. She is on forums with other female service members where they were kind of bartering and trading these things, these uniforms. Importantly, they also had certain chemicals in there that may not be healthy for the fetus that will be removed from this program, and she's telling me the response has been overwhelming. And again, this is a retention issue. We need to keep these women that the country has invested so much into their training, whether they're pilots or cyber warriors or others. Heck, we just had the first woman graduate Green Beret training, our first female Green Beret. We need to keep them in the service all the way through so that they can have families and become senior leaders. It shouldn't be an either or, and I think this is an important step in that process.
I want to thank you both for coming on, Congresswoman Deb Haaland and Congressman Michael Waltz. Thank you. Have